We spend so much time and money trying to get that perfect hair. But what if the very products we trust are hiding a pretty big secret? Well, let's dig in because what you're putting on your scalp might be way more important than you think. We all know that feeling of a great hair day, right? It's a total confidence booster. But that brings up a kind of unsettling question. In our search for beautiful hair, are we unknowingly exposing ourselves to something genuinely harmful? To even begin to answer that, we have to start with the foundation of it all, your scalp. And it's not just the skin under your hair. Oh no, it's a complex active gateway directly into your body. So let's take a quick look. Your scalp has three main layers. On the very top, you've got the epidermis. That's our protective barrier, the first line of defense. But right below that, you hit the dermis. This is kind of the command center, packed with hair follicles, glands, and a whole network of blood vessels. And then even deeper is the subcutaneous tissue. It's this whole intricate structure that makes the scalp so unique. And that brings us to this absolutely crucial concept, skin absorption. This isn't just about stuff sitting on the surface. Because the scalp has so many hair follicles and is so rich with blood vessels, it's actually one of the most effective places on your entire body for things to pass right through the skin and get into your system. So what you put on your head, it doesn't just stay there. Now, because people are getting more and more concerned about synthetic chemicals, many of us are turning to natural alternatives. And one of the most popular ones out there is clay. But how does it actually work? Okay, so let's meet bentonite clay. It's basically a superfine mud that comes from volcanic ash, and it has become a huge star in the wellness world. For hair care, the big promise is that it can add moisture while also drawing out all the gunk, the impurities and toxins. It's supposed to be like a natural detox for your hair. Now, this is really, really important to understand. This slide shows the critical difference between how clay works and how chemicals can get into your body. Clay works by adsorption, with a D. Think of it like a magnet or dust clinging to a cloth. The bad stuff sticks to the surface of the clay. This is completely different from absorption, with a B. That's more like a sponge soaking up water, where the substance actually passes through a barrier. So here's the bottom line. Clay is great at cleaning the surface, but that just brings up a much bigger question, doesn't it? If our scalp is this amazing gateway designed for absorption, what are we putting on it that is getting soaked in, moving past the surface and deep into our system? And that question leads us directly to a notorious group of chemicals. You've probably heard of them. They're in the news all the time, and for very good reason. They're called forever chemicals. PFAS is short for a real mouthful, per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. Basically, they're a huge family of man-made chemicals. And that nickname, forever chemicals, is disturbingly accurate. They are incredibly resistant to breaking down, which means they just hang around in the environment. And once they get in our bodies, they can stick around for a very, very long time. And here's the scary part. They are everywhere. I mean, seriously, from the packaging on your food to your waterproof jacket, your carpets, even firefighting foam. But then you see it right there on the list, shampoos and cosmetics. That's right, they're found in products we willingly put on our bodies every single day. Just to give you a sense of the scale of this problem, in 2023, just one manufacturer, 3M, agreed to pay over $10 billion to settle claims that it contaminated public water supplies. This is not a small-scale issue. The financial and environmental costs are absolutely astronomical. And those costs are so high because of the documented health risks. I mean, scientific studies have linked PFAS exposure to a terrifying list of problems, including certain kinds of cancer, thyroid disease, high cholesterol, decreased fertility, and developmental issues in children. These are not minor side effects. We're talking about serious, life-altering conditions. So let's connect the dots here. We have a highly absorptive scalp on one hand, and on the other, we have these forever chemicals that are known to be used in personal care products. This is where the story gets really personal. This quote here from the source material is just staggering. It's not just in a few weird, obscure products. PFAS are used across the cosmetic industry in the majority of products. Lipstick, mascara, foundation, the very things designed to be applied right on our skin, our lips, and near our eyes. Let's just let that sink in for a moment. The exact same class of chemicals that requires these massive, multi-billion-dollar environmental cleanups because they're so toxic are also being intentionally added to the products we use every day to feel good about ourselves. The disconnect there is just profound. So this all leads to the big question, right? What can we actually do about it? Well, the first step, as always, is awareness and doing a little bit of investigating for yourself. Now, this slide shows the steps from a home test kit, but it's actually a perfect metaphor for what we all need to do. We need to soak in the information, test the claims that our products are making, and compare the potential risks with the supposed benefits. It's all about revealing what's hidden in plain sight. So what are the practical steps? First, you have to become a label detective. Words that have fluoro or perfluoro in them are major red flags for PFAS. Second, always patch test. Before you douse your entire head in a new product, try it on a small patch of skin and see what happens. And finally, be skeptical of marketing. The word natural is an unregulated term. It doesn't guarantee a product is free from synthetic chemicals. And that leaves us with this final thought. We started this whole conversation talking about wanting beautiful hair, but after everything we've looked at, from the way our scalp absorbs chemicals to the real health risks of forever chemicals hidden in our products, we have to ask ourselves a pretty serious question. What is the real price we're willing to pay?